Ladies and gentlemen, of course, here's a powerful, calm and deep intro in Shi Hengyi's style, a style that merges martial discipline, peace, and universal truths for your motivational speech on how to stay strong when people try to break you. Picture a bamboo in a hurricane. The strongest trees sometimes break under the pressure of a powerful storm, but the bamboo, it bends, it adapts, it finds its center, and then it stands taller once the storm has passed. So today, we are here to talk about something we all face in this life. There will be people, whether by their words, their actions, or their doubts, who will try to break us, to undermine us, to shake our confidence from its roots. But the question is not whether these people will come. The question is, how will we respond when they do? In the tradition of the Shaolin, we learn that true strength is not the ability to destroy, but the ability to remain whole under pressure, to stay anchored, to stay true to ourselves, and to grow through what we face. So in this journey together today, we will uncover the techniques, the mindset, and the discipline to become unbreakable from within, not hard and rigid, but flexible, adaptable, and profoundly strong. Picture a bamboo growing deep in a forest. The taller it climbs toward the light, the more flexible it becomes. It lets the strongest storms pass through it without breaking, without falling, without losing its center. There is a deep hidden power in this. It is not a power that resists or rejects pressure. It is a power that accepts it, bends with it, and then finds its form again once the pressure has gone. To embrace your inner bamboo means understanding this principle within yourself. When people try to break you, it is a test. It is a powerful opportunity to observe yourself. Are you stiff and rigid, unwilling to move, unwilling to adapt, or can you become flexible and deep-rooted, letting the pressure flow around you instead of destroy you? Your roots, your values, your purpose, your character must be anchored deep. Without deep roots, a strong wind will easily uproot you. But when your roots are deep, you become unshakable, not because you resist pressure, but because you absorb it, learn from it, and grow. Picture for a moment a young bamboo shoot. At first it is small, vulnerable, easily trampled underfoot, but it spends years growing downward, extending its roots, strengthening its base. All this happens quietly, without a dramatic display. It focuses on what matters, developing a strong foundation and ignoring distractions. It doesn't compare itself to the taller trees nearby. It knows its own path, its own timing. It is patient. It lets growth happen in its own way. When you face unfair criticism, obstacles, or people trying to undermine you, this is your opportunity to deepen your roots. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can withdraw into your center, reflect, learn, and become more anchored in who you truly are. Each challenge is a form of nourishment, adding depth and stability to your character. Your ability to bend without breaking comes from understanding that pressure is a part of life. There will always be strong winds, doubts from outside, negativity from people who do not wish you well, disappointments you hadn't expected. But just as bamboo finds a way to move gracefully in a hurricane, you too can learn to respond to pressure with agility and peace. This ability starts from within. It requires you to know yourself, to appreciate your own worth, and to be comfortable in your own skin. It means not tying your happiness or peace of mind to external circumstances or the opinion of others. It means trusting your roots, trusting your ability to grow, and trusting that you will come back up once the pressure lifts. Instead of hardening and closing yourself off, you become more porous, more adaptable, more alive. Your center becomes a calm, strong place from which you can respond to whatever comes your way. There is a deep confidence in this state, a confidence that does not need to conquer or destroy, but simply to endure and flourish. To embrace your inner bamboo is to realize that you already possess all the resources you need to stay strong, no matter what happens outside. Your roots, your patience, and your adaptability will carry you forward. With this understanding, You become a person who not only survives storms, but uses them to become taller, more flexible, and more profoundly anchored in your own path. Transform pressure into power. This is a deep principle that guides a warrior's path. It means you learn to take whatever comes toward you, criticism, obstacles, negativity, and instead of letting it destroy you, you use it to become more. It is a form of alchemy, turning lead into gold. Inside pressure lies a hidden energy. It contains force, momentum, an opportunity for transformation. The key is how you respond. Picture a blacksmith's forge. A piece of metal is put into the fire and struck repeatedly by a hammer. To a weak piece, the hammer destroys it, but to a strong piece, it hardens it, it brings it into a sharper form, it makes it more useful and powerful. So when people attack you or doubts arise within you, you can view these blows not as pure damage, but as shaping, refining. Each strike is removing impurities and strengthening your resolve. Transforming pressure into power starts from a deep understanding that you do not control what comes from outside, but you control how you respond. Instead of shrinking back, instead of letting pressure overwhelm you, you face it directly and absorb its energy. The pressure highlights your weak points, shows you where you need to grow, where you need to toughen up. It reveals your character in a way peace and ease can't. It brings you face to face with your greatest doubts and vulnerabilities, and in that confrontation, you find hidden resources within yourself. When you practice this, you become less afraid of pressure and more eager to learn from it. Instead of avoiding difficulties, you start seeing them as your greatest teachers. Each trial is a kind of training, a chance to discover something you hadn't noticed about yourself, a chance to become more adaptable, more proficient, more powerful. Picture a martial artist in training. His master deliberately increases the pressure, adding more resistance, more complexity to draw out the student's hidden potential. At first, the student falters under the pressure. His movements become shaky, his confidence drops. But then something starts to shift. His body finds a way to align, his mind settles, and his techniques become more precise. He transforms pressure into power by staying present and letting it shape him. This process doesn't happen overnight. It comes from choosing again and again to face pressure instead of running from it. It comes from trusting yourself and trusting the process. It comes from understanding that pressure is not your downfall, but your greatest opportunity for transformation. This is a discipline, a daily practice to view all pressure as raw material for growth. It requires patience and perseverance, a willingness to suffer temporarily for a greater future. It means letting pressure cut away what is weak in you and forge what is strong. It means honoring your struggles as a path to mastery, so when you find yourself under pressure, instead of reacting impulsively or feeling powerless, remember this principle, embrace it, transform it. Let it become the force that drives you forward, making you more than you were before. The greatest people, the strongest people, are not those who avoided pressure, but those who turned it into power. Develop unshakable self-awareness. This is a deep discipline that lies at the core of staying strong when people try to break you. It means you know who you truly are, regardless of the doubts, negativity, or judgments that come from outside. It means you have turned your gaze inward and gotten to know yourself at your core, your values, your mission, your weaknesses, and your greatest strengths. This kind of awareness is not a shallow understanding. It is not a collection of titles, roles, or achievements. It reaches much deeper. It is a deep, intimate knowledge of your own character, your motives, your desires, your patterns, and knowledge that lets you stay anchored when the world starts to shake. Picture a martial artist sitting quietly in meditation. His surroundings may be filled with distractions, bustling movement, strong emotions, doubts, yet within him there is a center of calm. His peace comes from understanding himself profoundly. He knows his capabilities and his limits. He knows when to advance and when to withdraw. His decisions come from a deep place of confidence and clarity. That confidence comes from having gotten to know himself, not from accolades or validation from the outside. To develop this kind of awareness, you need to reflect honestly on your own thoughts and actions. It means you observe yourself without judgment, your doubts, your weaknesses, your habits, and you learn from them. It means you ask hard questions. Why do I react this way under pressure? Where does this feeling come from? What values am I staying true to, and where am I straying? This kind of inquiry brings you face to face with your own ego, your defenses, your stories. It lets you see through the masks you sometimes put on to please or appease and connect with the core of who you really are. It is a painful process at first, because you must confront your own flaws and vulnerabilities. But this is the path to true strength when you know yourself deeply. Nobody can manipulate you, undermine you, or make you doubt your own worth. Your center becomes a kind of anchor. The storms may rage outside, rumors, criticism, unfair attacks, but you stay firm because you know who you are and what you stand for. Your confidence no longer depends on validation from the outside. It comes from an internal knowledge. It comes from having faced yourself honestly and come to peace with all your dimensions, the strong and the weak, the light and the dark. This deep awareness lets you respond to pressure with maturity and confidence. Instead of reacting impulsively or defensively, you can pause, observe, and choose your course of action from a place of clarity. Your decisions become purposeful, not reactive. Your peace comes from within, not from the opinion of the world. Whatever people say or do, it cannot undermine you, because your roots are anchored in a deep understanding of yourself. Anchor yourself in your values. This means tying your stability, your peace, and your choices to something that lies deep within you, something that is not subject to the changing moods of the world. Your values are your inner compass, guiding you through chaos, controversy, and uncertainty. When you know what you truly care about, when you have defined your principles and made them non-negotiable, then you become a force that is hard to break, hard to undermine. Picture a ship on a restless ocean. The waves may rise and fall, the wind may blow from all directions, but if the ship drops its anchor deep into the seabed, it finds stability. It no longer drifts aimlessly, tossed by whatever comes its way. It holds its ground because it is anchored to something firm and enduring. Your values serve this very purpose. They connect you to something greater and more permanent than your doubts, your emotions, or the chaos outside you. To anchor yourself in your values, you first need to identify what those values are. That means reflecting honestly and deliberately on what matters most to you: loyalty, compassion, discipline, service, creativity, patience, whatever resonates at your core. It means distinguishing those from goals, desires, or ego-based wants. Values are not achievements, they are principles that govern how you move forward regardless of your surroundings. They reflect your highest self, your greatest potential. Once you know your values, you need to make a deep commitment to live by them. That means when pressure comes, when people criticize or undermine you, you check back against your values. Was this decision made in service of loyalty, compassion, discipline, or whatever your values may be? If it was, then you stay firm regardless of opinion. If it strays from your values, then you course correct immediately, without shame and without regret. This discipline lets you move through a world full of distractions and pressures without losing yourself. It lets you respond to attacks and doubts not from a place of weakness or ego, but from a place of deep conviction. Your values become your greatest ally, a clear, strong voice within you that guides you when everything else is confusing. When you anchor yourself in your values, you become less susceptible to the judgment of people who do not share them. The criticism and negativity from outside lose their power to undermine you because you no longer need their approval. Your peace comes from honoring your own principles, from staying true to your path, from choosing what is right over what is easy. This way of living transforms pressure into a kind of discipline. It lets you grow under stress, become more yourself, more anchored, more purposeful. It means you are not a leaf tossed by the wind of opinion, but a deep-rooted tree that stands firm in its values. Whatever comes, doubts, attacks, disappointments, you remain, because you know exactly who you are and what you stand for. Let adversity become your teacher. This means choosing to view every challenge, attack, or criticism not as a roadblock, but as a powerful opportunity to learn and grow. It means understanding that resistance, pressure, and negativity carry messages within them, messages you can use to become smarter, more skilled, more resilient. Picture a warrior in training. His greatest lessons come not from easy victories, but from tough battles. Each time his defenses are pierced, each time his techniques falter under pressure, he finds a weakness, a spot that needs strengthening, a movement that needs refining. His greatest teacher is not the friend who cheers him on, but the opponent who shows him exactly where he falls short. The warrior who avoids opposition avoids growth. The warrior who embraces it evolves. Adversity highlights your blind spots. It reveals what you are not yet ready for, what you need to work on, and where you have neglected your discipline. Instead of resenting it, you can appreciate it for what it is, a mirror reflecting back to you the areas that need improvement. It shows you when your patience falters, when your confidence wavers, when your discipline slips. Each attack, each challenge becomes a powerful piece of information for you to use. This view transforms suffering into a tool for transformation. It lets you appreciate hard moments not as unfair punishment, but as a kind of tough love from life, a way to become more, not less. Instead of asking who is against me, you ask what can I learn from this? Instead of feeling defeated, you become a student of your own struggles. Your greatest growth often comes from these moments, from the people who tried to undermine you, from the obstacles that seemed insurmountable, from the disappointments that forced you to reassess and adapt. If you use these experiences wisely, you emerge from them more flexible, more powerful, more yourself. This process is not comfortable. It requires you to face your weaknesses honestly and to admit where you need to grow. It means letting go of ego and choosing humility, choosing to learn instead of retaliate, choosing to reflect instead of blame. But this discipline transforms you in a way that pure ease and success never could. It hardens you, deepens you, expands you. Instead of a life without pressure, you pursue a path that makes you stronger under pressure. Instead of avoiding resistance, you move toward it, trusting it to show you exactly what you need to become more. Each trial is a forge, a place where you are refined, made more pure, more powerful, more true to yourself. This understanding lets you face future struggles without fear, because you know that within them lie the very lessons you need to conquer whatever comes next. It lets you appreciate opposition and use it to illuminate your path forward, turning every attack into an opportunity for transformation.